Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and the Miami Dolphins have signed wide receiver still not used to it, chosen Robbie Anderson, more known as Robbie Anderson. Last season played for the Cardinals and the Panthers. Spent 2 years with the Panthers, and then spent his first 5 years, or is that 4 years in the NFL with the New York Jets. After last season, or maybe in the middle of the season, was that the end of the season, or was that after the season? He changed his legal name to Chosen Anderson, which I still like to call him Robbie, but I say Chosen Robbie Anderson, just so you know, because a lot of people probably don't know that he changed his name, or maybe some do, but you never know how many people know that. So it is Robbie Anderson of the Arizona Cardinals who is going to the Miami Dolphins and signing a one-year deal with them. I like this for the Miami Dolphins. You know, they're getting a guy who definitely has a lot of good experiences. Even though he had a struggling year last year, did decent, but it was a little bit of a struggle for him. He's still a good wide receiver. He's kind of young. I mean, he's 29. So he's kind of young, but I think that he's a guy who could have a decent year next year. If you look at their wide receiver group, of course you got Tyreek Hill and you have Jalen Waddle. They're going to be great for you. But besides that, I don't see a true wide receiver number 3. I like Braxton Berrios. He can do a decent job. And I also like Cedric Wilson Jr., but I think Robbie Anderson will be a true wide receiver number 3 for the Miami Dolphins next season. Let's go over some of his stats. Let's go over this season's stats for him. So he spent 6 games with Carolina and 5 starts. In those 6 games and 5 starts, he had 27 targets, 13 receptions, 206 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. And then he got traded. Or did he get released and signed with the Cardinals? I think he got traded to the Cardinals, or I could be wrong. He played 10 games with the Cardinals, started in 2, had 17 targets and 7 receptions and 76 receiving yards. So it was one of his worst years in the NFL. I mean, with 2 years in Carolina before that, and then 4 years in New York, He didn't have a season with under 500 receiving yards. Let's go over to the 2021, 17 games, 16 starts, 110 targets, 53 receptions, 519 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. 2020, 16 games, 16 starts, 95 receptions, 1,096 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. So he had 1,000-yard season in 2020. 2019 had 780 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. 2018, 752 and 6 touchdowns. 2017, 941 and 7 touchdowns. So besides last season, he's been an elite wide receiver. And I do think if he plays a lot with the Dolphins next season, he'll get back to where he was before with the Panthers and the New York Jets. So that's really my thoughts on the situation for the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, I think he'll be good and they'll be fine, but we shall see how he does, if he'll be that third wide receiver for the Dolphins, or maybe he'll have to compete a little bit with Cedric Wilson Jr. and Braxton Berrios. Should be an interesting situation to see what happens. You guys want your thoughts on the signing? That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.